I have done more than 1,400 live streams here teaching. Okay? So, if you just be patient and pay attention, I think you'll find value here. All right? So, I'll tell you what you can do, Khalid. What you can do in my room is ask me questions. Okay? I'm a teacher, and you don't have to pay me. It's amazing. It would be nice if you paid me, but nobody's paying me. But I'm here to answer questions. So ask your questions. Think about questions that are good questions. Don't just say, how can I learn English? That's not a good question. Okay? Sarah, you have a question. I would love to answer your question. What's your question, Sarah? You know what we say in English? Good things come to those who wait. Good things come to those who wait. All right? So, Sarah, what's your question? Yes, Daryl. How can I learn English? Right. That's a question that can't be answered. My teacher, many years ago, my teacher told me that any question that you need to write a book to answer, that's a bad question. All right? If I have to write a book to answer it, then that's not a good question. All right? What's the most critical thing in the world? Integrity. I'm chatting well with anyone, but when I begin talking in a live, I can't and I feel I freeze. Okay, Sarah, I like this question. That's a good question. So, Sarah, many people ask me about this. And what I say to them is, Sarah, can you ride a bicycle? Can you ride a bicycle, Sarah? Yes, integrity, Retta. Integrity. It means that you care about your honor. If you care about your own honor, then you have integrity. So, again, Sarah, can you ride a bicycle, Sarah? That's okay. Can you ride a bicycle? Are you able to ride a bicycle? Yes, a bicycle. Can you ride? The question will make sense in just a minute. Can you ride a bicycle? Are you able to ride a bicycle, Sarah? Yes, you can. Okay. And when you ride a bicycle now, are you comfortable when you ride a bicycle? Are you relaxed and comfortable most of the time when you ride a bicycle? Yes, of course. All right, good. So I ask most people this question because most people can ride a bicycle, but when you ride a bicycle now, you're comfortable. But when you started riding a bicycle, when you started riding, were you comfortable then? No, nobody's comfortable in the beginning when you're riding a bicycle, right? So how do you become comfortable? Well, what did you do, Sarah? You got on the bicycle and it was not comfortable, but you kept doing it. And it's not comfortable. Here's not comfortable, right? You get on the bike and you're not comfortable, but you keep practicing and you keep practicing and you keep practicing, and suddenly you are comfortable, right? So that's the way practice works. And what you're talking about when you say you're afraid to speak in public, right? That's called stage fright. Stage fright, or performance anxiety. Stage fright and performance anxiety. So, everybody who is a performer, we all know what this means, to have performance anxiety or stage fright. When you get on the stage for the first time, it's scary. Okay? But I want you to think about any performer that you like. Think about any performer that you like. Are they nervous when they perform? Do they look nervous when they perform? A good performer doesn't look nervous because they've done it many, many times. So I'm a drummer, and I remember when I was on stage for the first time, I was about 14 or 15 years old, and it was very scary. All the lights are on you, and everyone's looking at you, and you're on stage. It's very scary. But then you do it again, and it's a little less scary. And you do it again, and it's a little less scary. And each time you do it, it becomes less scary. Okay? So what do you need to do, Sarah? If that's true, then what do you need to do? Language is a performance. Okay? Sarah says, but there are many people who bully you when you make mistakes. All right, well, Sarah, when you walk down the street, Sarah, sometimes little dogs will bark at you. But when you walk down the street, do you stop to pay attention to every little dog that barks at you? Or do you keep walking? When you walk down the street, yeah, keep walking, Sarah. So, Sarah, learning is an act of courage. Learning is an act of courage. And you have to make a decision. You have to make a choice. Do you care more about what they think, or do you care more about your learning? Do you care more about what other people think, or do you care more about your learning? That's why learning is an act of courage. Because when you learn, you have to be willing to make mistakes, and that means that some people will laugh at you. But the people who laugh at you for making mistakes, those are little dogs. The people who laugh at you for making mistakes are just little dogs. Okay? So, Sarah, have you ever heard of Rumi? Have you ever heard of Rumi? The poet Rumi. He's a Persian poet. He's a poet from Persia. Okay, in Persian, I think they call him Molana. Okay, and he's a very famous poet from ancient Persia, and one of his quotes is one of my favorite quotes, and it's talking about what you're going through. It's talking about what you feel. Rumi says, all of your anxiety comes from seeking harmony. Seek disharmony and you will find peace. So what that means is sometimes in life you feel uncomfortable when you do things, and because you feel uncomfortable, that makes you feel afraid. And when you feel afraid, you want to run away. But if you want to become better, then you have to not run away. You have to run toward it, not away from it. So, if you're afraid of the tunnel in the mountain, what should you do? Should you run away from the tunnel or should you go through the tunnel? If you're afraid of the tunnel, you don't run away, you go through it. And then when you come out on the other side, you realize that it wasn't that bad. But it's an act of courage. The mountain is scary, the tunnel is scary, but you go through. And when you get to the other side, you get more courage. You feel more comfortable. So, don't seek harmony, seek disharmony. Don't run away from the things that make you uncomfortable. Push forward and try to become comfortable instead of running away from your discomfort. Okay? That's right. All of your anxiety comes from seeking harmony, your desire to seek harmony. Seek disharmony and you will find peace. That's right. All right? I love that quote. It's a great quote, and that's like riding a bike. In the beginning, when you ride a bike, it's scary because you're not balanced and you don't know what to do. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. All of your anxiety comes from seeking harmony. Seek disharmony and you will find peace. Okay? And then, Sarah, one last piece of advice. Sarah, many people tell me, Teacher Mark, I tried, but I can't do it. I tried, but I can't. And then I'll ask them, how many times did you try? How many times? And sometimes they tell me, well, I tried 5 times or 10 times, or maybe they say 20 times or 50 times, or even 100 times. And they think 100 is a big number. They think 100 is really a lot. But then I tell them, if you haven't tried 1,000 times, then you haven't tried. So don't say I can't. Say I haven't. Right? So if you haven't done it 1,000 times, then you haven't done it enough. Because if you have done it 1,000 times, then I promise you, you can do it. Do you understand the logic? Do you understand? Right? People say, I can't, all the time. It's so easy to say, I can't. It's so easy. But most people, when they say, I tried, they think that they tried. They say, I tried 20 times or 30 times. But if you didn't try 1,000 times, then you really didn't try. So keep doing it. Because somewhere between 1 and 1,000, you will find success. All right? So don't say I can't. Just keep trying. All right? That's a very important thing that many students don't understand. It's so easy to say, I can't do it. But the truth is, 99% of the people who say, I can't do it, they never really tried because they didn't do it enough. All right? All right, let's see. Did I miss any other comments or questions? Let me run back and just check. How can you become an advanced English speaker? Afghan Bano. Well, that depends. First, you start as a beginner, then as intermediate, then eventually you'll get to advanced. But the question I would have is, one, what do you need advanced English for? And why do you think you need it? Like, what is your purpose and why is that so important? Because I'll tell you this, advanced English, that's C2 is advanced. That's very advanced English. Okay, but C2 level English is not very useful. It's not used everywhere. Okay, language is like a key, all right? And some keys open this door and some keys open this door, right? So C2 level language, it only opens the doors that are like high level academic doors. So if you're a professor, then you use C2 level language. If you are in a master's study program or a PhD program, then you probably use this level, C2 level of language. But if you're not in one of these small areas of language, then you probably don't need C2 level language. Because most language, in any language, it exists mostly in the B1, B2, C1 neighborhood. Okay, and mostly in B1, B2. All right? All right. And you said, so honesty in general. Honesty and integrity are very related, but I don't think they're the same. Integrity is self-honesty. So I find self-honesty to be the most important thing because we lie to ourselves, and when we lie to ourselves, sometimes those are the worst lies. Okay, so lying is usually not a good thing, but the lies that you tell yourselves, those are the worst ones. And that's more about integrity. That's about being honest with yourself, right? So that's why one of my favorite quotes, another quote that I love, I'm a quote guy, Shakespeare has a quote from Hamlet, "This above all, to thine own self be true. This above all, to thine own self be true." Be true to yourself. Be true to yourself has many meanings. One of the meanings is, be yourself. Just do what you feel is you, right? But the other meaning of be true to yourself means don't lie to yourself. Okay, be honest with yourself about things. You can't be honest with the world if you don't begin with honesty with yourself. Okay? All right, let's see. Mamel, you posted your homework on my moments. Can you send it to me for correction? No. No, I don't do that, man. Why would I do that? You think I have time to correct your homework just 'cause? No, I'm sorry. Use AI, all right? What a question. I'm not here to correct your homework. But dogs are cute, Anissa says. Yeah, little dogs can be cute, but sometimes little dogs bark a lot. and they bite, right? So they're cute, but sometimes they bark and bite a lot. And when you're walking down the street, the little dogs, they seem to bark a lot. But that's why we don't pay attention to them. And many people, they will make fun of you. They're like barking dogs. They're like little barking dogs. Don't pay attention to them. Okay? Okay, let's see. Hello to everyone. And Nadia asked me something earlier, I think. What did you say? Something about, would anything make me stop teaching? What would make me stop teaching? I'll be honest with you, I don't think that could happen. That's like saying, what would make you stop playing drums? Nothing. Being a drummer is part of who I am. I tap on things all the time. It's just part of who I am. Probably when I die, when they put me in that box, you'll hear. All right? And then teaching is the same thing for me. I don't think that it's possible for me to stop teaching because teaching is kind of part of who I am as a person. It's not a job. It's part of who I am. How do you stop being who you are? So I can't I can't stop. I can't stop. Is it historically accurate that the Angles, the Saxons, and the Jutes introduced the roots of English? Yes. Yeah. So the Angles were the first group that were in England, and they mixed with some of the local tribes that were there also. Some were Celtic tribes, and some were just tribal groups in England. And so then England is right here, right? Let's put England up here, all right? And then over here, let's see, let's do it this way. Okay, England is here, and then across the English Channel is right here, and then we have Europe here, okay? And so there were three other groups, the Saxons, the Jutes, and there was another group, I can't remember the name now. They came over the English Channel and then into England, and they mixed with the Anglos and or the Angles, depending on what spelling you use, and that became the beginning of the English language. And the Saxons and the Jutes, they are Germanic tribes. The area of Europe where they came from at that time was considered a Germanic area. Not Germany, because countries were not really... countries didn't exist the way we know them today at that time. But there were areas, right? And the area where these tribes came from was a Germanic area. That's why English is considered a Germanic language. How old am I? I am older than the flowers and younger than the mountains. I speak slowly. I speak a little bit more slowly. About 10%, maybe, slower than I do in real life. That's my teaching voice. When you teach, you have to make sure everyone understands you. So you are much, much more aware of your language. All right? So I slow down. And yes, I speak a little bit more slowly, about 10% slower than my normal speed. And I enunciate. I enunciate. Okay? Yeah, clearly means enunciation. I overpronounce my words so that every word is very clear. All right? It's funny. I just saw a joke. There was a comedian on TV, and he was talking about well, how do I say this? Wait a minute. Let me think about how I can tell this joke safely. So they were talking about how young boys don't speak clearly. Young men, young American boys do not speak clearly at all. They speak very unclearly. Okay. And this comedian was making a joke about it because she was saying that they speak unclearly because they think that it's not cool to be clear. They think that if you're trying to speak very clearly, that you're helping too much, and that's not cool. So young boys in America, they don't move their mouths when they speak, right? Look at me. I move my mouth a lot, and that's why it's so clear. But if I change the way I move my mouth and I speak like a young 18-year-old kid or a 16-year-old kid in America, they speak more like this. They don't move their mouths at all, so everything comes out sounding like this. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? I don't want to move my mouth because if I move my mouth, then people will think that I'm not cool. So I don't move my mouth at all. But if you move your mouth, then all of a sudden it's very, very clear. Amazing. All right. So, enunciate. Enunciate. I think that this idea, the idea that these young kids have that you shouldn't speak clearly because that's not cool, that is incredibly stupid. All right? It's incredibly stupid to think that your unclear language is somehow cool. No, it's not. As a matter of fact, it's the opposite. It looks like you're afraid to try. If you speak like that, it looks like you're lazy. It looks like you're afraid to care, that you're afraid what people will think if you speak clearly. That's the opposite of cool. Cool means I don't care what you think. I'm going to do what I do and I don't care what you think. That is what being cool means. If you care what other people think, not cool. All right? So if you're thinking about, oh, I'm worried what people will think about me. If I speak too clearly, they won't think I'm cool. If you're worried about what people think, you're not cool. All right? All right, let's see. Hello, Becca. Good to see you. Becca, I hope that you are okay in the Philippines. That terrible, terrible earthquake that just happened in the Philippines. If you are Filipino, then I hope that you and everyone you know are okay. So I think they do it on purpose. Mona, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, young boys in particular. Young men are so funny because young men are so desperate to be cool, but their desperation is what makes them not cool. So young men try so hard to be cool because they're so desperate that they want people to think how I'm cool, right? Look at me, I'm so cool. Please think I'm cool. That's desperate. That's desperate. And in English, we say, another one of my favorite quotes, desperation is a stinky cologne, or desperation is a stinky perfume. So guys, pay attention, guys. This is a very important lesson for the men in particular. Okay? Nobody likes a desperate person. So if you seem desperate, people will run away from that like it smells. Okay? So don't be desperate. Okay? Desperation is a stinky perfume. Don't wear that perfume. Okay? All right, let's see. Like I said yesterday, teenagers are still trying to develop themselves to look cool. Right. So the thing that teenagers don't understand is that if you want to be cool, you need to just develop yourself. Work on yourself. Don't think about other people and what they're thinking about. No. Work on yourself. Build yourself up. What do you do? What can you do? Do you have any skills or talents or abilities? Because guess what? Skills and talents and abilities, those are also a perfume. Those are also a cologne. If you have skills, people like that. If you have talent, people like that. If you have abilities, people like that. It's not desperate. It's something that people can appreciate. Okay, so your skills and your abilities and your talents, those are a gift to yourself and to the community. All right? Okay, hello, Jean-Franc. Can you wait a little bit, Jean-Franc, so I can answer a few more questions before I bring another person on stage? Can you wait just a little bit, or can you ask me in the chat? One of the two, if it's easy. Have I given up on iced coffee? No, I have my iced coffee here today, but I'm trying to drink less of it. So you see, I don't have my giant mug anymore. I just have a small little 1 cup of coffee. That's it. Why do British and American English have different spellings, and who caused this change? That is because of the American Revolution. Right? So why do Americans drink coffee and British drink tea? Because of the American Revolution. Okay? Why do the British say flat for apartment, and we say apartment, they say flat? We say trunk, they say boot. We say elevator, they say lift. This is partly about the American Revolution, and that when America split, we went 2 separate ways. So it's partly about that. But it's also about Galapagos. Do you know what Galapagos is? Galapagos Islands? The Galapagos Islands? Do you guys know what those islands are? The Galapagos Islands are a group of small islands. They are... Wait a minute, hold on. I'm trying to remember. So they belong to... They're part of the country of Ecuador. Ecuador. Galapagos. Galapagos. Okay? And those islands are special for a few reasons. Do you know why those islands are special? Those islands are special because of evolution. Because if you go to those islands, you will find some animals that are only found there. Why? So the giant tortoise is a kind of turtle, right? Big, huge turtles that live for many, sometimes hundreds of years, right? So those turtles, those tortoises, they live on the Galapagos Islands. That's one of them, okay? And why am I telling you about this? Because just like if an island is far away from everything else, then animals and plants develop differently, right? So distance makes things develop differently. And language does the same thing. When language has distance, it develops differently. So British English is over here, and it's developing on this island, and American English is over here, developing way off in a distant place. So it develops differently. Language and evolution have a relationship in that way, that the further you go away from a place, the more it might change. Okay, so distance will affect language. Okay? All right, next question. Let's see. I'm glad to know that your area was safe, Becca. What are the best skills in the English language? Okay. Reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking, grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. Those are the best skills in the English language. Those are the skills of language. Reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation. Okay? Thank you, Jean-Franc. Let's see. Thank you, Red Rose. Hello to everyone. That's right. When languages differ, they evolve differently, just like animals on the island. Right. Just like, why does China have simplified Chinese now? Why? Because there was a time when there were many languages across China. How did that happen? Distance. Right? Distance, right? When people move far away, then languages start developing differently. So they created separate languages further away. That's part of language evolution. Okay? Any tips on boosting my business English excluding emails? Ken, have you seen that page that I showed the other day? ESL-lounge.com. That page has a very big section of business English that you can work on. Let me find it for you here again. Where is it? Here it is. So if you go to this page, you will find on the left menu, look down, scroll down on the left side menu, and you'll see a big menu for business English. Okay? So here's the page right here. And if you go down the left side here, scroll down, grammar, there's a grammar guide, grammar exercises, reading exercises, listening exercises, vocabulary exercises, test prep, and then down here, business English, elementary, intermediate, advanced, reading, intermediate, advanced, and listening for business English. Okay? Okay. Thank you, Language Warrior. People from different provinces in China can't understand each other, right, unless they use, Mandarin, right. That's right. There are many people that can't, right, especially if they're very rural, right? Many rural people, which means people who live way out in the country, right? So if you find somebody way out in the province countryside from this province and another person way out in the province countryside from another province, yeah, those two people might have trouble talking to each other unless they know Mandarin. Yeah. Okay. Probably you weren't there. Okay, well then ESL Lounge is a great website that has a lot of really great resources. It's free, and they have a great business English section. Okay? All right, now, Jean-Franc, are you still there? If you would like to come up, I think I've caught up with the questions, so I can talk to you for a moment if you're still here. Hello, Miguel. I'm fine. How are you? Ah, there he is. Raise your hand, Miguel. I'll bring you up. Ooh, that's a good question, Heisenberg. Do I think the differences between Chinese dialects are greater or the differences between languages in various European countries? That's hard to say because I don't know enough about the language tree that where Chinese comes from. So, Heisenberg, there's a really great picture. Let me show it to you. There's a map. Let's see. This one. Take a look at this. Let me see. How can I do this? Save image to desktop. All right, take a look at this. Where did it go? There it is. So the languages from most places, languages from Europe and from Central Asia, there's a good map that shows how they developed. But I have not seen a similar map about Chinese. I would love to see one, but I haven't seen one yet. So here, look at this map. This is a map of how all languages are related, or not all languages, but many languages are related. Okay, so let's take a look at this more closely here, right? So if you go up here, look, there's English over here. And what's close to English? German, right? And French, okay? Those are related languages, right? And Greek is down there, okay? Dutch, even, Dutch, right? Danish and Swedish and Norwegian, those are called the Norse languages, the northern languages, okay? Northern Germanic, okay? So all of these are called Germanic languages over here. See, West Germanic, okay? But then over here we have Slavic languages like Russian and Polish and Slovak, okay? And Czech, they're related. Okay, so you can see how they're related. Up here we have Italian, Portuguese, Spanish. These are called the Italic Romance languages, the Latin-based languages, right? They come from Latin. Okay, and then over here we have Hindi and Urdu and Bengali over here, right? These are called the Indic or Indo-Aryan languages. Okay, and then here's Persian, Punjabi, Pashto, okay, Nepali, they're all related in a way, okay? And then all of this comes down to this, Indo-European, okay? Indo-European, or we also call it Proto-Indo-European, PIE. PIE is the abbreviation that we use to talk about the language that gave us all these languages. Okay, so Proto-Indo-European is the language that brought all those languages. Okay? Let me see something. Where is that? Is it here somewhere? Let me check something. Right. That's what I thought. So somebody asked about Arabic. Arabic did not develop under the Indo-European languages. Okay, so Arabic belongs to another group of language tree, another language tree that's called the Afro-Asiatic language family. Okay, so there are some languages that come from the Afro-Asian, which means like Northern Africa and Asia. That's where Arabic comes from. Okay? All right, and what's the key word to search for this map? You can search for the this. Try searching for PIE language family. Language tree map. Try that. I think that's what I searched for. Okay, so what I'm saying is I haven't seen this kind of map for the Arabic languages, the Afro-Asiatic languages, and I haven't seen this kind of map for the Asian languages, the Eastern Asian languages either. So I would love to see that, to see how they're related and when they happened, but I haven't yet seen that to study. Okay? Turkic languages, let me see if I recognize that here somewhere. I'm going to guess probably Turkish was, again, an Afro-Asiatic language, probably. So it probably developed like Arabic. Okay, from the same tree as Arabic. All right? What about Sanskrit? Sanskrit does come from here. Let me see, where is that? Sanskrit is one of the earliest languages. So I think, if I remember right, it actually predates Indo-European languages. Let me see. No? Okay, wait a minute. Then where did it come in? It is a PIE language, so it should be on this map. Let's see. There it is. I see it now. Here, let me take a look again. I found it on this map. So here's the map, right? And over here we have Hindi and Urdu, right? Gujarati, right? But then right down here, look, there's Sanskrit. Okay, so it's one of the early languages. It starts branching out from there, right? So Iranian and Sanskrit, those are some of the earlier languages. Okay, let's see. All the languages in that tree are phonetic writing. Well, that's one of the differences in general. That's one of the differences, but not entirely. One of the most curious languages is the Euskera. Oh, I don't know that one. I've never heard of that. That's interesting. It also has Chinese. The AI tells me it's Sino-Tibetan. Yeah, and I do know that, but let me see. Where is Sino-Tibetan? Let me see. I don't know if that's correct. Let's see. Is... No, Chinese is also separate. It's from the Sino-Tibetan language family, right? So there's another map for Sino-Tibetan languages. That's what I thought. Yeah, so I'm not surprised it's not here. So again, there is another tree that's like this tree that exists for the Sino-Tibetan languages, and there is another tree that exists for the Afro-Asiatic languages. Okay, and there is another tree that exists for the indigenous native languages from the Americas. Okay, what happened to you? Where did you go, Jean-Franc? What happened? You didn't raise your hand, or did you? I never saw you raise your hand. Are languages that are lower down on the tree more primitive? No, not necessarily. The word primitive is not a very good word because sometimes when people think primitive, they mean less complicated or less special or more basic somehow. But that's not necessarily true, right? So, what I would say is there are languages that came earlier that some are more basic, but some are very advanced. So you can't necessarily say that every language that got earlier got more basic. Okay? Every earlier language was more basic. That's not true. I would say that there are some that might be more basic, but maybe not all. Okay? Does Kurdish originate from Sanskrit or Arabic? Let's see. Yes, Kurdish is on this map. It should be somewhere here. There it is. Yeah, it's on the map. Here's Indo-Iranian, Iranian. Then we have Pashto here, Tajiki, Persian, and over here is Kurdish. Okay, let's see. Our language, let's see. So Heisenberg said Chinese characters are hieroglyphics. Not exactly, no. There's another word. So Egyptian characters are hieroglyphics. That means that the character means a word, right? But Chinese characters are actually what's called logographic, which means the whole word or the whole character equals a word, right? So Egyptian hieroglyphs are more like an alphabet, like letters. Okay, that's actually where we got the alphabet from. The English alphabet comes from Egyptian hieroglyphs. I can show you there's a wonderful video that shows how the English alphabet came from way, way back when. Egyptian hieroglyphs and even Sumerian, I think. So hieroglyphs are considered logophonetic systems. So logophonetic means that it, how do I say this? It means that it's more like an alphabet, okay? But Chinese is logographic, which means that the character represents a whole word or a meaningful unit, right? So they're similar, but not quite the same. Let's see. In which age did Adam and Eve speak, and how did we end up speaking so many languages? Well, Heba, that's a hard question to answer. The first part of it is very hard to answer because for me, Adam and Eve is just a story. Okay? It's just a story. There probably was one man and one woman sometime, maybe, okay? But the fact that they're called Adam and Eve now, that's just a story to me. I'm not calling it that for anybody else. I'm just saying for me. So, the first part of the question I can't answer. But the second part of the question, how did we end up speaking so many languages? That's because communication is very important for survival. And making sounds is something that humans are able to do in a way that many animals cannot do. We can produce more sounds in different ways than many animals. And over millions of years, through thousands and thousands of years of development of that sound, those sounds became connected to meaning. And that's how language developed. when sounds are connected to meaning and meaning is connected to survival, language develops. Okay? Okay. Now John Frank is here. John Frank, raise your hand. You have to raise your hand, dude. Where's your hand? I don't see your hand. Why don't I see it? I can't see your hand, John Frank. Okay, let's see. Well, I don't know why I cannot see your hand, Jean Frank. You're not on my list. Let me try to do it another way. Where are you? I think I can find you in my crowd. If I can find you in the crowd, then I can invite you up. Oh, but you're not even in my... Wow, that's weird. Where are you? Jean Frank. Okay, this is really weird. Not only can I not see you in my hand raising menu, but I also can't see you in my audience. Something is very weird, Jean-Franc. Can you try to leave and come back? Try to leave and come back and see if it changes, because right now I can't see you at all in my audience or raising your hand. So I don't know, and I can't, when you say here, that doesn't help me. I can't invite you from that. Ah, there it is. Finally, it showed up. Okay, let's get Jean Frank on stage. Okay. There he
How are
is.
you?
Okay, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine, excellent. It's a good day for me. It's my day off,
Good.
so
Okay,
I have time to watch your live stream.
that's okay. So what can I do for you today then? How can I help you?
Yesterday I was trying to practice the word across, because I've seen that word in, like, for example, when we say across the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it could mean in the whole world, right? But sometimes I've seen this word in phrases like when they say across the river.
Right.
So I mean, it's confusing because if I say across the world, I'm saying like in the whole world, right? But if I say across the rivers, does it mean that I'm going through the river?
So across the world, the word across, the original meaning of the word across means in the shape of a cross.
Oh yeah, it makes sense.
Okay? But then the word became, it meant in a crossed position. Okay? And
Okay.
and then it became about from one side to the other. So
Okay.
that's why it means now from one side to the other. So when you say across the world and across the river or across the street, it means the same thing. Across the world, you're going from one side of the world to the other side of the world. When you go across the river, you're going from one side of the river to the other side of the river. When you go to across the street, you go from one side of the street to the other side of the street. Right? So across is just going from one side to the other side.
Okay, so I could say like across the bridge, right?
Yeah,
Could
that's
I say
exactly right.
that?
Yeah, we're going across the bridge. Yeah. And the word cross, let's cross the street, let's cross the bridge. It's from the same meaning, to go across.
Oh, okay, I can use it as a verb
Yeah,
too.
to
So I could say
cross.
like I crossed the river.
Yes, yes, that's correct. You cross the river, you cross the street. We always say, look both ways before you cross the street.
Okay, I got it. I got it. Um, I had a question about another word. Like it was the word entail. Entail, because yesterday I was watching a video about jobs interview, and I remember that the person that was being the or I would say the interviewer
Mm-hmm.
said the interviewer said, like, what does it entail?
So
I mean, he was.
to entail means what's it made up of, right? So what is it composed of? What is it made up of? What? So if I say, I want to hire you to work for me, and you say, what does this work entail? It means what would I be doing for you? What?
Okay, like what
Right.
is included on
Right.
something?
Yeah. What's included? What is this all about? That's what it entails.
Okay,
Yeah.
do you think is this word too formal, or it could be used like if I'm with a friend, right, and if I want to ask him, like, what is his job about, right? So I can use that word to ask him. I mean, what does he do in his job? Or do you think it could be used only for like in job interviews or
No,
like for
it's a little bit formal, but I wouldn't say that it's super formal. You know, it's funny. There is one interesting thing about formal words. Many formal words are very long.
yeah,
So
true.
the shorter the word is, the harder it is to say it's just formal. When it becomes small, it's like that's too simple to just say it's formal. It's really just a simple word. Entail means what does this include? What's this about? Right? So, and this word, let me read for just a second because it looks like there's more to the meaning. Let me just see here. Let's see. Originally, the meaning was talking about when someone dies and they leave their property to you. That's the property that's entailed. So it means the legal limitation. It means what are you allowed to have and what are you not allowed to have. This is what is entailed, means what's included. So the original meaning of the word entail was originally a legal term. And it was talking about if someone dies, then what are you allowed to have? What is yours? What is yours that's entailed for you? Right? So it
And
means,
also, what is what
yeah, what's included for
it
you.
have it has also this meaning of what you are allowed to
That's
do
right.
and what you're
That's
not allowed.
exactly right. It was a legal limitation originally. It was a legal limitation, right? Like you're
So,
allowed to have this, but you're not allowed to have that. So
so that word could be
this is
included also,
entailed.
like I could say, like what the policy insurance entails. What does the policy
Yeah,
insurance entails?
yeah.
Like,
Absolutely. Yeah. It means include. Yeah. What's included? What does it entail? Yeah. That's right. We use that to describe anything that's like a long list of something that you have to do, right? Or a long list of something that's included, right? So if I say an insurance policy, what does this insurance policy entail? What does it include, right? Or
okay.
education. What does this education entail? What's included, right? What do they do? What do
Okay.
they do here, right? So entail means included. Is entail level C1 or C2? I'm going to guess C1, but let me see. C1. And it's considered a formal word. It's usually used in academic writing or business. But in everyday conversation, native speakers, let's see. This says native speakers rarely use entail. I don't think that's true. So you could say this new job will entail frequent travel. It means include frequent travel. Or I could say this new job will involve a lot of travel. So involve is the more basic word and entail is the more formal word. But again, I feel like I don't want to call it a real formal word because it's not that formal. And it can be used in many situations to describe how something is included. So
Yeah, because in the examples that I read, one example was very formal, like what does this in policy insurance entail? And
Right.
the other example is someone was asking to his friend, like, what does your job entail? And I said, like, oh, it could be using formal. So
See, right. Like if you're just asking your friend at the restaurant, what does your new job entail? That's casual, but I think that's completely fine. Right? So that's why I wouldn't say it's too formal. It's still somewhat common in my opinion. Now, if my friends ask me, hey, do you want to go out on Friday night? We're going to go to the movies. And if I said, well, what does that entail? That's weird. Like, because
that would be weird. It's I mean, if you know you're going to go out, so it means that you're going to have fun.
Right. Yeah, right. So that would be a time when I would not want to use the word entail because that is too casual, right? But still, I still don't think I would say it's a completely formal word. And that is true of many C1 words are like that. There are C1 words that sometimes they're very formal and sometimes they're not so formal. They'll actually kind of casual. Okay?
It kind of depends on the context.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was asking you this question because I was listening to a podcast where like they were giving you like examples with where you can use. I mean, you have two words, right? That they mean the same, but which one was more like which one was the best to use depending on the context?
Right. Yeah, but that's part of the fun of language. The sky is not going to fall if you accidentally use a formal word in an informal place. Okay?
Yeah.
So don't worry that much. Sometimes that's how you find out if a word is okay or not. You try it, and then maybe it seems weird, then you go, okay, now I know that's weird.
I remember another example, but this was when you want to ask someone where they are from. Like there was a phrase that is where are you based, especially that is used in remote calls, right? Instead of asking like what city are you in?
Right. So the word
do you
base.
live?
Base is about the military. A military base, right? A base is a place where you can operate. You can operate from that place, right? So the military, and the American military at least, we have military bases all over the world, right? And that means that we can operate from there. We don't have to go all the way home. We have a place there. That's the base, okay? Or in baseball. Baseball. It's called baseball because those are the bases. And when you run there, you're safe on the base. Right?
It is funny how every word has origin, right? It comes from, I mean, like, for example, like you just said, the word base, that's why in the baseball they are called base.
Right. Yeah. Again, that's the word base, which meant the foundation of something. That's the foundation, right? And the foundation, if you have a good foundation, then it's safe. It's strong,
Of course.
right? If your foundation is strong and it's safe, then that means that's a good place to be, right? So, so in baseball, that's where you start is on one base, and then you have to run to the next base for safety, right? So that again, the word base is like a place of safe operations, right? So
Yeah.
when you say where are you based out of, that means where do you work? Like your company, maybe your company, for example, my city, we have a big company called Procter and Gamble, P&G. P&G, huge company. And their headquarters are here. They're based in Cincinnati. They're based in my city. Okay? But they have operations all over the world. Right? So if somebody says, where is P&G based? You have to say, well, they're based in Cincinnati, but they're a huge company with operations all over the world.
So we could say that this phrase, like "Where are you based?" we could use it in scenarios where we wanna ask someone where they are operating from, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Remember, we also talked about the word stationed. Where are you stationed? It's like that. A station or a base is a place where you operate from. So where are you stationed is a military word, like, oh, I'm stationed in South Korea, or I'm stationed in Japan, or I'm stationed in Mexico, right? So that means that's
yeah,
where they put you, right? But the operation
yeah,
the operation is everywhere, but you work in this one place. That's where you're based. That's where you're stationed.
yeah. It's basically where are you based? I mean, that question is basically asking the person like, which part in the world are you working from?
Right, yeah. And Carolina says like the headquarters. Yeah. Quarters means the where you live. That's your quarters, right? And so headquarters means the head, the boss. Where does the boss live? The boss lives there. That's the headquarters. That's why it's called the
Yeah.
headquarters. The boss, he's the head. The director, he's the head, right? So the boss lives there. That's the quarters of the boss. Quarters means where you live, right? So
Okay.
a long time ago, they used to use that word like maybe if you came to visit me in Europe, in my castle, right? I would take you to your room and I would say, these are your quarters, sir. Means this is your room.
Okay.
This is the room where you will be staying. These are your quarters. Okay? And then, which, let me look and see, where does that word come from? I'm curious. I have a feeling I know, but I want to look it up. A portion of a town. One moment. So, I see. So the original meaning of quarters, well, quarter means in four parts, right? In four parts is quarters, right? But originally this was a word that they used to talk about the town. If you live in the town, then there's one special place in the town where the soldiers live. The soldiers don't
Okay.
live everywhere, they live in one place. That's the quarter of town where the soldiers live. That's their quarters. So it began, the word started as a word to say, in this part of town, that's where the soldiers live. That's the quarter of town where the soldiers live. Then the word quarter became a word that meant also where you live. These are your quarters. So it could be your room. Okay?
Okay. Correct me if I'm mistaken, please, because I think I'm not quite sure, but I think that I've seen that word in issue in the context of when we're talking about month, like the three quarter, the third quarter or something like that.
Right. Quarter, again, quarter just means four parts. So the word quarter actually it was about killing an animal. When they
Really?
killed an animal, they would cut it into four parts. Four legs, right? Four parts. So they would quarter the animal. That's what they used to say. We're going to quarter the animal. That's four parts of the animal, right? So then the word quarter became anything where you divide it into four parts. Okay,
Yeah. Oh, it makes sense. That's why. I mean, we could say that 'cause, the year has
four
12
quarters.
months,
That's right.
12, 12, 12
So in
months. So
business, that's why they say
divide.
quarters. That's right. That's right. In
That's
business, they
why
say
I think
quarters. Right. Yeah. And schools
that's why
sometimes
they
too.
say the first quarter
Yeah.
of the year.
Yeah. And schools used to do this too. Most schools now, they use the word semester. But a long time ago, schools used to use the word quarter, and it meant the season, like spring, summer, fall, winter. Those are the quarters of the year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and yes, in American money, we have the quarter, 25 cents. That's a quarter of a dollar.
Sorry. Repeat again.
In
The last part.
American money, we have a coin called the quarter, and it's 25 cents. It's a quarter of a dollar
Oh yeah, yeah. Because if you multiply 25,
by
it's
four.
gonna give you,
That's right, a dollar.
But yeah,
Right, yeah, $1.
it's like the four part.
That's exactly right. That's what quarter means. Yeah, to quarter something. Actually, there's another. I'm going to tell you something that's very disturbing. It's very sick, but it will make you remember this. Okay? A long time ago, they used to have a punishment that was a very terrible punishment that was only for the worst people. And it was called being drawn and quartered. And what that meant was they would take a person and put them on the ground, and they would tie their arms and their legs to four horses.
Oh my God, oh yeah, it makes sense. That's why it is called quarter.
Drawn and quartered. They would rip you into four parts.
Horrible
Yeah,
punishment.
yeah. But it's horrible, and that's terrible, but now you'll remember.
With that explanation, I'm going to remember. I mean, I could say
Yeah,
that he was, divided in
that's right.
in
Yeah,
quarter.
that's right. Drawn and quartered. I remember when I was a boy, I heard that term on TV, maybe in the movies or something, and I didn't know what it meant. And then when somebody told me, and I was like, whoa, that's sick. What? That's crazy. Ugh. But yeah, they used to do crazy
Drawn.
things.
That was the name. That was the punishment name, right?
Drawn
Drawn
and
and
quartered. To be drawn and quartered meant to be tied to four horses and then ripped into four pieces. Yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah. Terrible. Yeah. John Frank, I
Terrible.
need to let you go so I can talk to some more people, but it was great to see you again, and thank you for your good questions. I appreciate it very much.
Oh, thanks to you. I mean, you always give me the opportunity to talk because I appreciate it because here in Colombia I don't have friends that I can talk to. However, what I do to is record myself. So I mean to try to improve my spoken English.
That's good. And just remember again, man, you can think in English anytime.
Yeah. That's I've been not thinking in English lately, but I'm going to try. So thank you so much.
Keep working on it. All right? Take care, my friend. I'll see you next time.
See you.
Okay, let's see. Let me go back and check the comments here. I'm sorry. One moment. All right, let's see. because you took your hand down. That means there's some limit to how many people can raise their hands. That's weird. That's never happened before either. I don't think there's a limit of how many people can raise their hand. At what level will people be able to speak like me? I want you to think about language just like music. The first time you play a song, it doesn't sound good. You keep playing it, and it keeps sounding better. That's how language works, too. So if you want to sound better, keep making language. Language is music. Just make the music sound better every day. Okay? Okay. I wasn't offended by anything. I was just trying to not be too particularly religious. That's all. Intel means intelligence. INTEL is a short abbreviation of the word intelligence. And the word intelligence has a few meanings. One of the meanings of the words intelligence means the things you know about something, right? That's the information that you know about something is the intel. That's the intelligence that you have, the knowledge that you have, the information you have. Entail means what you must do, what's required, or what is included. Okay? Good night, Yamin. All right. I'm almost caught up with the comments. One moment. So the word quarter, by the way, the word quarter was also a verb. It can be a verb. So, for example, I remember a long time ago, for example, in America, during the Revolutionary War or during the Revolutionary War in America, when it was England versus America, if the British soldiers came to your town, you had to give them a place to stay. You had to give them a place to sleep. So they would come into town and they say, "Where are you going to quarter our soldiers?" You can quarter them here. They can quarter in the barn, or they can quarter in this house, or they can quarter over there in the field. Something like that means that's where they can stay. Okay? All right. Dismemberment by 5 horses. Yeah, there were some times when it was 5. There were some times when it was 5, but the term was usually called drawn and quartered. Yeah. Okay, let's see. This speaking speed is driving me crazy. Okay, why? I'm already fed up with that particular English learning software because the content is too basic, but I paid 2,000 yuan for the course, so I have no choice but to keep using it. I'm not sure what you're talking about. What software or app? I don't know. Why does the first letter of every English sentence need to be capitalized? Well, it's just called grammar. Uh, so the reason why it didn't exist until around the 8th century. So before the 8th century, there was no difference between letters. Letters were just letters. There was no uppercase and lowercase. The Romans just used uppercase letters. That's what we call uppercase letters, right? Capitalized letters. But then in the 8th century, writing changed, right? And it had to be faster and more space efficient. So around 780, during the reign of Charlemagne, let's see, there was a monk who began writing in a new way called Carolingian minuscule. It meant the first lowercase alphabet. And by the way, do you know what uppercase and lowercase means? Why do we say uppercase and lowercase? Why do we say uppercase and lowercase? What is a case? What's a case? It's a box. That's right. So, Susu, do you know what a printing press is? What is a printing press? Anybody know what a printing press is? This is a printing press. This is a printing press. Okay? And the early printing presses, they had, everything was a separate letter, right? So you had all these little metal letters that you had to put into place, right? They had big letters and small letters. So you kept all the big letters in the box up here, and you kept all the small letters in the box down here. So the big letters were in the upper case, and the small letters were in the lower case. Look. Whoops. There's the uppercase, and there's the lowercase. And those are the letters in each case. See? The uppercase and the lowercase. Whoops, sorry. Let me try that again. You see that? The uppercase and the lowercase. That makes a lot more sense now, doesn't it? Case just means box. Waleed, a case is just a box. There are many kinds of cases. A briefcase, a suitcase, a cassette, that's a case. Cassette means case, and then you put ETT on it, it means a small case. A cassette. Okay? So, Gutenberg was the first one who, popularized the printing press. And that's where we get the terms uppercase and lowercase was from the printing press and arranging the letters on the printing press. Okay, please be patient. Let me go back. Oh, and somebody said, do I not invite people? I just had somebody on stage, Samira. I just had, just a second ago, I had Jean-Franc on stage for a while, and then I had somebody else on stage just before that. So, let me check the comments here again, make sure I didn't miss anything. What's the origin of the Greek language? Greek, again, is, if you look at that family tree, do I still have that up? Yes. Greek. There's Baltic, there's Celtic. Greek. Yeah, Greek is one of the early, it's called a Hellenic language, and it comes on the tree that is, it's one of the early PIE related languages. So Proto-Indo-European began, and then it became Hellenic, and then it became Greek. Okay, let's see. Actually, this sentence case is nothing but orthographic convention of writing just to make language easier to read and understand. Well, kind of. Yes, you're partly right. So before we had the printing press, everything was written by scribes. There was a job, and the job was called scribe. To be a scribe was to write. You were a writer. You wrote everything. You had the best handwriting. The scribe was the guy who had the best looking handwriting. But there was a problem with the way that they used to write. They used to write with script. What does script mean? What does script mean, everyone? Do you know what script is? Script means like this. There it is. Look. Ah. This is, the word script has many meanings, right? But it means a kind of writing. And this is the kind of writing. It was very, very flowing. A lot of flowing lines, right? But there was a problem with this kind of writing. Let's see. Wait a minute. There's a term I'm looking for that I can't remember. The minim. The minim. Look at this word. Minim. Look at this. Wait a minute. Let's go back. It was easier to see it here. Okay, look here. Not the word minimum, no. This is a thing called the minim. And the minim means that when you use calligraphy like this, look what happens to the words. It's hard to see. What is that? Where's the I and where's the M and where's the N and where's the U and where's the... It's too hard to read. So do you know why we have the dot on the I and we have the dot on the J? We have the dot because if you don't have the dot, then you can't read it. All right? So this is a way of writing that was called the minim, okay? And let me see. Wait a minute. Let me find another example. Whoops, wrong one. Okay, so look here. Look what happened. This is the way that they used to write. They used to write like this. This is the word minimum in old language. Here. This is the word minimum. But look at how hard that is to read. Right? It's very hard to read. So that's why then they decided to change it so that they spread the letters apart. They put more space between the letters, and then they added the dots. And now it's much easier to read. Okay? So, originally, writing was always done in script. And script had the problem of the minim. So, when we changed to the printing press, we had to change to letters that were more further apart, more space between them, right? And then they had to make the letters different looking, right? So it was easier to tell the difference between this letter and that letter, right? So many letters used to look too similar when we were writing. So they changed them to make them look more clear. Okay? All right. I bet you didn't know you were going to get a history lesson when you came here, huh? Am I in the south or the north? I'm in the middle. Fun P. What I told you is hard to forget. Well, that's the way teaching is supposed to be, you know? If you say the words the right way, they have magic, and magic is hard to forget. Okay? Okay. Yeah, so the word scribe, there are many, many English words that have this in it. Look. Let's see. There we go. So there's a root word, skribh, scrib, scrib. That's the Proto-Indo-European root word. Okay, it's an old root word. And look how many words are related to that. Ascribe, ascription, circumscribe, conscript, conscription, describe, description, inscribe, inscription, manuscript, postscript, prescribe, prescription, proscribe, sans serif, scribble, scribe, script, scriptorium, scripture, scrivener, serif, shrift, shrive, subscribe. All of these are related to the same word that means, well, the original word means to cut or separate or sift, but now the meaning is to write. To write. Okay. What does success mean to me? Success is doing what makes your heart smile. Yeah, subscribe. So what does the word subscribe mean? Wait a minute. Where are my notes? I have notes about this. Let me find my notes. Oh, here they are. Maybe? No, that's not my notes. Where are my notes? One moment. Okay, so let's talk about scribe words for a minute. Okay, the word scribe means to write. Okay, so when you subscribe, sub means what? What does sub mean? Sub means under or below, right? So maybe I come to your door. I come to your door and I knock on your door and I say, "Hi, my name is Mark. Would you like to buy some magazines? Would you like to order a magazine? Would you like to subscribe?" And you look at my magazines and you say, "Yeah, I like this magazine. I like music. That's a music magazine. I want to subscribe to this magazine." And then I'll say, "Okay, great. If you want to subscribe, then please write your name here." And where do you write your name? Where do you write your name? Do you write your name on the top? Do you write your name in the middle? Or do you write your name on the bottom? You write your name on the bottom. Subscribe. Right under. That's what subscribe means. It means right under. Right below. So you write your name below. Okay? Subscribe. All right, so we've got subscribe. What about the word describe? What does describe mean? What's describe? Explain. Today it means to explain something or to tell more about it, the details, right? Okay, so But a long time ago, let's say this is 1,000 years ago. 1,000 years ago, if something was important, then what did you do? If something important happened, what did you do? You write it down. So you have to describe it. To write it down, you have to tell people what happened. You have to describe it. All right, so that's where we get the word describe, description, right? How about the word, let's see. When you go to the doctor, if you go to the doctor and you are sick, he will give you something. What does he give you? A prescription. Prescription. So what does that mean? What does pre mean? Pre means before, right? So the doctor, he writes down what you're supposed to do. It's the orders that you are supposed to do. So he's telling you, here's what you do. That's before. Now you go home and do it. He wrote it down. Prescription, script, to write, right? To write down, right? So he wrote down what you're supposed to do later. Before is now. He's writing it down now. That's before. Then later you do what he said. That's the prescription. Okay? All right. How about the word, what about the word manuscript? You're writing a script for a movie, so that means you're writing a manuscript. And you're a Spanish speaker, so you know what that means. Manuscript, manos. What does manos mean? Hand. Yeah. So a manuscript is something that was written by hand. So that's why the manuscript, originally that meant it's not a printed copy, it's not a print or a copy, it's the original, it's the first one, it's the one that you wrote with your own hand. That's the manuscript. Manu meaning hand. So how many other words in English do you know that have manu in them? Manu. Let's look at that for a minute. Manufacture, manual transmission, manual mode, right. How about command, commando, demand, emancipate, even the word maintain. When you maintain something, you keep it. With your hands, you keep it that way, right? And to command is to tell somebody what to do. You go here and you go here with your hand, right? And to demand something. I want this now. I'm demanding it with my hand. And the word emancipate means to make you free. To make you free. So I am freeing you with my hands. I'm freeing you. I'm saying go free, right? And Manage. When you manage something, if you are a manager, what do you do when you manage? You control people with your hands. Right? You control people. You go here, you go here. I'm the manager. Okay? And how about the word mandate? What is a mandate? A mandate is a law. It's something that says you must do this. The government is telling you that you must do it with their hand. Okay, that's their mandate. What about the word maneuver? Maneuver, to maneuver. It's a French word. Maneuver means to change your position or change your direction or move in a different way. And the word maneuver is a word that means, again, to change your direction by your hand. To maneuver. Right? You maneuver the steering wheel. You maneuver the controls. You maneuver the joystick. Okay? You maneuver it with your hand. What about the word manicure? What's a manicure? When you get your fingers they make your fingers pretty. They clean them and they make them nice and put nail polish on. That's manicure is your hand. That's your hand. They're making your hand pretty with a manicure. Okay? And how about the word... Let me see. Ooh, that one's hard. Let me give you a better one. How about the word manipulate? Manipulate. To manipulate. The word cure comes from the word cura, which means to care. Cure and the word care are related. Cure and care are both related. Okay? So manicure means the care of the hand. Okay? So yeah, to manipulate is to control with the hand. So if I move my microphone, I'm manipulating it. That's the original meaning of the word manipulate, means to move with your hand. Now, the word manipulate also means to make people do what you want them to do, using something, using a trick or using leverage or using blackmail or using something, right? You manipulate them. But the original meaning is to move with your hand, to manipulate the joystick or to manipulate the pieces on the board, right? You're playing chess, you manipulate the pieces. You move them. Okay? How about the word manner? Manner. The word manner means the way you do things, right? The way you do it. So it means the way you use your hands. The way you use your hands is the manner of your hands. Do you use your hands well or not? That's the original meaning of the word manner. It means, can you use your hands well or not? Okay, or how about the word manual? Manual. Manual means you must do it by your hand. So a manual transmission car means that's the one where you control the stick shift, right? First gear, second gear, third gear, that's a manual transmission by hand. Okay? Let's see. How about the word manufacture? Manufacture. It means something made by hand. Okay? How about the word, somebody was mentioning another word. Where was it? Manacles. Yeah, manacles is an old word that meant handcuffs, right? Like if you go to prison, they put those chains on your hands, on your wrists. Those are called manacles because they control your hands. Okay? Let's see. How about the word... Oh, this is a funny one. Do you know what manure is? Do you know what manure is? This is a good one. Manure. Poop. That's right. Right. So the word manure is very close to the word maneuver. Right? And what does maneuver mean again? What does maneuver mean? To maneuver something means to do what? To move it by hand. To move it by hand is to maneuver, right? And what do you have to do if you have manure? What do you use manure for? What do you use manure for? You use it for the plants, right? You use it for the farming, right? And when you use it, do you just throw it out there? Do you just put it out there on top? Or what do you do with it? No, you have to work it with your hands. You mix it well with your hands. So the word manure means poop, but the word manure means poop because you have to maneuver it. You have to move it. You have to make it with your hands into the soil. So the word maneuver is related to the word manure, which is related to the word manipulate. Those are all related, which is related to the word manage and manager. Okay? What about the word, let me see, do I have any more? Any more fun ones? That's about it for that route. There are a few others, but that's about it. So, this is one of the fun things about language, is that if you know where the words come from, then you can see how they're connected. Okay. Yes, the manifest. Manifest is a fun word. Manifest has many meanings, but the original word manifest meant something that's clear, something that's obvious, right? So manifest destiny was a term in American history that means the clear and obvious destiny of something, right? Or if something is manifest, if I say this is manifest, it means this is clear to everyone. It's obvious, okay? So the word manifest, the original meaning of the word manifest means caught by hand. Caught by hand. So it's like you tried to steal from me and I caught you by hand. So now it's clear. It's clear to everyone what happened. You tried to steal and I caught you. It's clear. It's manifest. And then the word manifest became something more. It became a list of things that you have. So, for example, on a boat, On a boat, you have the manifest. That means the list of either people or things that are on your boat. And why is it called the manifest? Because it's clear. It's clear what's on the boat. When you read the manifest, you know what's clearly on the boat. Okay? So yeah, there you go. It's like being caught by hand. It's clear. You're caught red-handed, right? Have you ever heard that term, to be caught red-handed? Yeah. Okay, anything else? Let's see. Did I make you lose your appetite? Sorry about that, Waleed. Manumission, right. Samuel, that's not a very common word anymore, but yeah, it means the work that's done by hand, right? Hand, right? Again, yeah, that's right. Okay. Not just rules, it's more. Well, yeah, that's right. It's not rules. I don't like to think about grammar at all like rules. They're more like the current suggestions or the current way, but I wouldn't say rules, because rules makes it sound like they don't change, but they do change. They change a lot. Over time, the rules of language have changed many, 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 many times, and they will continue to change. Yeah. Okay. In art, some groups of artists create manifests. Right, yeah, that's right. A manifest, again, is usually a list of something. A list. Yeah. Okay. And if you don't know, this is called etymology. Etymology means the history of where words come from and how they've changed over time. Okay, and English words are very interesting because they come from many, many places. Okay, 60% of English words come from Latin or Greek language. 30% of English words come from French. About 20% come from German. And some people say, but Teacher Mark, those numbers don't add up to 100. That's not how language works, because sometimes there's overlap. So, for example, 60% of English words come from Latin or Greek, but many of those words also became French. So there are some words that have French background, but also Latin or Greek background. Okay, so, but English words come from Latin, Greek, French, German, Arabic, Persian, Chinese, Japanese, Hindi, Spanish, Italian. English words come from everywhere. You tell me a word and I'll tell you what language it comes from. Pajamas, that's from Hindi and Persian. Pajamas comes from Hindi and Persian. The word pajamas originally in Persian, it meant pants. It just meant pants, loose pants. Yeah, like loose, free, breathable pants. That's what pajamas were. Assassin comes from hashashin, which was Arabic and Persian, I think, if I remember right. Yeah, and that's a very famous story about the Hashashin group of people who... there are many myths or stories or legends about that group and how they were a group of killers, and sometimes the myth says that they used to use drugs when they would do their killings, right? But not all of that is always true. Shampoo comes from Hindi. Shampoo means to massage. It's a Hindi word. Struck is the past tense form of the word strike, and the word strike comes from Old Germanic strikanen, It's related to the word to stroke something, which meant to lightly pass over something, right? So it's kind of interesting. The word strike actually has a meaning of to hit someone, but the original meaning is actually related to the word stroke, meaning to rub like this. I hear vocation on holiday or in English, but never hear staycation. What does this mean? So, no. Romish, the word vacation, V-A-C-A-T-I-O-N, vacation means a holiday where you travel, usually somewhere. You go someplace, right? So if you go to the beach, then you're on vacation, right? But staycation is when maybe you have 2 weeks off of work, but you don't have enough money to go someplace far away, right? So you stay at home or you stay in your city, but you go somewhere in your city that you've never been. That's called a staycation. It means you have time off, but you're not traveling anywhere. You're just staying at home, okay, or staying close to home. Okay. Vocation, the word V-O-C-A-T-I-O-N, vocation, that word means, the original meaning is a calling. Like the word vocation is related to the word vocal, meaning your voice. Voice, vocal, vocation, they're all related. So a vocation is a job, but it's a job that calls to you. So am I a teacher? Yes, I'm a teacher. And for some people, the job, it's just a job. It's just a job. They could do any job. They don't really care. They just teach because it's a job. But for some teachers, like me, teaching is not just a job. It's something that calls to you. It calls you. It says, you're a teacher. You should come here. That's a vocation. Okay? Let's see. The word spam. Spam is a fun word. Spam, today, the word spam is like spam email or a spam phone call. It means something you don't want. Right? You don't want it, right? But the word spam actually is a meat. It's a kind of meat. Spam comes from the word spiced ham. Spiced ham. So, everyone, have you ever seen this before? This is spam. This is spiced ham. Okay? And Anna says, wow, I like spam. That's because Anna is from South Korea. And why do they have spam in South Korea? Why do you know what spam is, Anna? Because of the Korean War. In the Korean War, there were many, many, many American soldiers in Korea, and they brought American foods. And they had to have food that was easy to keep for a long time. So they used canned food, canned vegetables, canned fruit, and canned meat. So Spam was a very, very famous and important meat in the 1940s and 50s. It was a cheap kind of meat that stayed for a long time. And so Spam and hot dogs and American cheese, those things became popular in Korean food because of the American soldiers that were there, and we brought those foods to Korea. Yeah. So the word Spam means spiced ham. Spiced ham. And Spam is considered a low quality meat. It's a poor people's food, right? My father, when he was growing up, he was poor. And when my father was growing up, they used to eat Spam for dinner, right? It was something they would fry it up on a pan and stuff and eat Spam. People still do eat it, but it's considered to be a very low quality food, like a lower class food. Okay. So you have steak. Steak is up here. It's high quality, high class food. And then you have Spam down here. It's considered low quality food. So it's yummy if you make it the right way, but it's considered to be low quality food. So people don't want it. That's why we say Spam email. That's why we say Spam calls and Spam messages. It's something you don't want. Waleed says, I eat it. It's delicious. Okay, well. There's pork in that, I'm pretty sure, Waleed, so I don't know if you eat that or not. I don't think you eat Spam. You maybe eat a version of Spam, something different, but Spam has pork in it, so probably you don't eat that. Spam with scrambled eggs. That's right. Yeah, Spam with scrambled eggs is yummy. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. Spam means a low-quality thing that's unwanted, and it's because it's a kind of low-quality meat. Okay? It's very, 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 very salty. Spam is very, very salty. Okay, let's see. I totally destroyed their marketing. Yeah, but you know what? Spam is one of those foods that does not need marketing. People like it or you don't like it. And the people who like it will always like it. So my father will always like Spam because he just grew up with it. Maybe they do. I don't know, Waleed. Maybe they do have a sheep or cow beef version of it. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. So, okay. Any other words? You want to tell me any other words? I can tell you where they come from. Did I miss any? I think I got them all. Can I say right now you can say right now you're on a staycation. I'm on a staycation. You're on a staycation. You're having a staycation. Okay? That's right. Staycation is a portmanteau. That's right. Uh-huh. That's right. Lus plateau. So the word plateau, I don't know about lus, but plateau, plateau is a word that means a flat area of land. And it is related to the word in Greek. In Greek, the word platis means flat and wide and broad. So a plateau is an area that's elevated and flat and wide and broad. Okay? Okay, let me see. And then epitome. Epitome comes from French and Latin, and Greek. Epitome meaning a shortened version, or so the word epitome, the original meaning of the word epitome means a shortened version of something. An abridgment or a shortened version, a summary, a brief summary. So when we say the word epitome now, the epitome means something that's like the perfect example of that, is the epitome of something, right? So if I say he's the epitome of greatness, then that means he is great. He's the perfect example of greatness. Okay? It's almost like the word quintessential. It's a great word too, quintessential. Quintessential is a fun word. Essential means something you need. And what does quint mean? Quintessential. Oh, sorry. Wait one moment, everybody. So the word quintessential, sorry, yeah, quintessential means the exact perfect type of something, right? And the word quintessential comes from Greek history. The Greeks believed that everything in the world was made of 5 elements. Okay? Earth, fire, air, water, and something they called ether. Ether meaning it's like an element that you can't describe. It's the element that is the purest element. Okay? So if something is quintessential, it means it either has all 5 of those qualities or it has the 5th quality, which is the pureness quality. It's the most pure. Okay, so the quintessential is a fun word. Greek history. Spam isn't cheap here since we rarely eat this canned food. Right, yeah, because it's just not that common or popular there. But it's probably not that expensive in Korea, if I had to guess. Is the word cure, does it have to do with Greek mythology? Yes. Again, it's Greek and Latin. The word cure comes from the Latin word cura, which means care. Okay, so the word cure is related to the word care. Okay? Because something that cures you cares about you. Right? It's for caring for you, right? A cure is good care. Okay? Pampered. So the word pampered is a word that means to be treated really, really specially. Like everybody's treating you really, really nice. You're being pampered. Okay? But the word pampered means overfed, like they feed you too much. And the original word pamper comes from Old Dutch and German, and it means to give you too much food. To give you too much food. So to pamper someone means to give them too much food. But now it just means to give somebody too much, to spoil them. To spoil them. Bourgeois. Bourgeois is a French word. Bourgeois is a French word. Bourgeoisie. That was a French word from French history that means the rich people, the aristocrats. They were the bourgeois. Insulate and isolate. So insulate comes from the Latin word insulatus, which means to make an island. right? So when you insulate something, you make it so that it's not affected by anything else, right? It's insulated, right? So it's like an island. It's not affected by anything else, right? And the word isolate is related. Isolate comes from the word isolated, which again is related to the word island, because an island is an isolated place. So insulate means not affected by things outside, like an island. And isolate means far away from everything else, like an island. Peninsula. Peninsula is a word that's interesting. The original meaning of peninsula means almost an island. Because it is. A peninsula is like a piece of land that's sticking way out into the ocean, right? Almost like an island. So that's what a peninsula is. It means almost an island. Provoke. Okay, let's see. That's going to be Latin and Greek. Provoke comes from the Old French word provoquer, and then from the Latin word provocare, which means... So the word provoke, the P-R-O, in this case, it means... forward or forth, right? Like come forward, right? And the voke, V-O-K-E, that's related to the word vocal. So when you provoke someone, you're yelling at them or you're calling them forward. You're saying, hey, come fight me. Come fight me. I am provoking you. I am calling you forward to fight me. That's what provoke means. And it's related to the word vocal, voice. Panorama, that's going to be Greek. Panorama, that comes from the word pan. Pan means, in Greek, the word pan means all. All. Okay? And then the orama part means something that is seen or something to see. Right? So the word panorama means something that can see everything. So when you take a panoramic picture, it sees everything. Okay? Antagonize, that's going to be Latin and Greek again. Antagonize comes from the Greek word antagonizethai, which means to struggle against or oppose or to be a rival. So the word antagonize, the first few letters, the A-N-T, that's from anti. What does anti mean? Anti, not like your auntie, like give me some candy, auntie. No. I mean anti, like against. So when you're against something, you antagonize. Antagonize. So the first part is anti, meaning against, and the second part is agon, and an agon means a contest or a struggle. So the word antagonize means to struggle against something or fight against something. Right? So when you antagonize something, you're bothering it, you keep attacking it, you keep bothering it. Okay? Any other words? It's actually not so hard. The more you do it, the easier it gets to do this. Like to say, like, oh, this word comes from here, and this word comes from here, and this word comes from here. Antarctic, that's a great one. I love this word. So we have Arctic and Antarctic, right? So the Arctic is the north, the far north part, the northern part of the Earth. That's the Arctic. And the bottom part of the Earth is the Antarctic, right? And this word comes from the Latin and Greek, I think, word Arcticus, which means bear. It means a bear, right? So why are they talking about a bear? So they're not talking about polar bears. They're talking about if you go to the North Pole, if you go to the top of the Earth and you look up at the stars, when you're on the top of the Earth, you can see the Bear constellation. I forgot the name of it. How did I forget that? Come on. It should be Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. Ursa means bear. So there is a constellation. There's a group of stars. If you're in the northern part of the Earth, then you can see the group of stars that's the bear, the Ursa Major. That's the one you can see when you're on the top of the Earth. But if you're on the bottom of the Earth, you cannot see the bear. Ant means against or not. So Antarctic means can't see the bear. Arctic means can see the bear. Yeah, that's a pretty cool one too. Right? All right, let me take these off. They're hot. Okay, the next word. What about pettifogger? Pettifogger and pettifogging, that's a very, very uncommon word. At least in American English. I've never heard it used, ever. I know what it is. It means that you put too much importance or detail, importance on detail, right? If you put too much importance on detail, the word we usually use in English, we don't say pettifogger, we say nitpicker. A nitpicker is somebody who's, they don't like anything. They're constantly complaining. They're always saying like, oh, this could be better and this could be better and maybe you need to fix this and maybe you need to fix that. And so what is a nitpicker? Nit means a little bug, right? So have you ever seen monkeys, when monkeys pick bugs out of the, like a monkey picks a bug from the other monkey, right? They're picking the nits. So a nitpicker means somebody who's always being like, oh, look, there's a problem. Oh, there's a problem. Oh, there's a problem. Oh, there's another bug. There's another bug. There's another bug. There's another bug. They're nitpicking. So we'll say, hey, don't nitpick. Don't nitpick. Just let me do it. Right? Don't be a nitpicker. Nagging is similar. Nagging is when you always tell somebody what you think they should do. If you never, if you always feel like you have to say what you feel they should do, that's nagging, right? So sometimes maybe you know what somebody should do, but you say, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to bother them, right? You don't want to nag, right? But if your mom is always telling you, hey, clean your room. You need to clean your room. Your room is really, really dirty. When are you going to clean your room? Have you cleaned your room yet? That's nagging. Okay, that's nagging. What about the word etymology itself? Etymology comes from the word logia. The second part, logia, is or ology, right? Any ology means the study or the science of something. And the word etymon, etym means the true sense of something. The true sense of something. So etymology means the study of the true sense of the words. That's what etymology really means. How about rekindle? So the word kindle, we talked about this word the other day. Kindle means to make a fire. And the reason the word kindle means to make a fire is because when you make a fire, you need little pieces of wood. You need little things that can burn, right? Little tiny things that can burn. Those little things, those are called kindling. Kindling means little things that you can burn to make a fire. So to kindle means to make a fire. Kindling is the stuff that you use that's small, that is easy to burn, that can make a fire. Rekindle means, again, make a fire. So when you rekindle something, maybe we use this word about a friendship, right? You used to have a friendship with someone 10 years ago, but you lost touch. You don't talk to them anymore. But now you started talking to them again. And now your friendship is starting again. So your friendship has rekindled. It started fire again. Okay? The word blunder. Blunder means a mistake. It's related to the word blind. The word blunder is related to the word blind. It means to blunder originally means when the lights are out. If you have no light and you're looking for, trying to walk around in a room, you're blundering. So you're blindly walking around in the dark is to blunder. Then the word blunder became a bigger meaning to just make a big mistake. Okay, so the word blunder is related to the word blind because blundering means to move around in the dark. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. When you do that, you make a lot of mistakes. Those are blunders. Okay, snuggle. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Let's take a look at snuggle. Snuggle comes from the word snug. Snug is an adjective that means something small or compact. It comes from Old Norse and Swedish and Danish. Wait a minute, let me see. Interesting. So the word snug originally meant something small or compact, or something that was protected from the weather. Because if you make a boat that's too big, the bigger your boat, the easier it is to sink, because the weather can sink it. Okay? So sometimes a small boat was actually better than a big boat, right? So the word snug originally meant to make a small boat, something that's small that can fit into a small place, right? So snug meant to fit tightly, right? So we still use this word to say, let me think. Let me give an example. It means I put something in a place and it's firmly there because it's tight. It's close to everything else, so it's tight, right? So for example, when you get into a car with many, many people, right? If you're sitting in a car with many, many people, then you're sitting like this, right? You're very compact, you're very tight, and you're close to them. So you are snug. And because you are close and you are snug, that's where we get the word snuggle, which means to get close to someone. So the word snuggle, to get close to someone, is related to the word snug, which means something small, because you can put many small things close together. Celine. Thank you, Celine. That's very nice of you to say. When will I play drums for you? You never get the chance to join. Maybe I'll play a song here at the end. I think I can do that. Maybe I'll do that. What about the Flintstones from that cartoon? What about the Flintstones? You mean where does the word Flintstone come from? Ah, well, I'll show you. Okay, sorry everybody. I wanted to find the right one. This is a kind of rock called flint. This kind of rock was very, very useful for many, many things. Because if you look at it closely, look at the way it breaks. You see how it breaks into sharp pieces? Look at how sharp that is there. Wow, that's actually very sharp. So, what is this? It's not shark teeth. No, this is an arrowhead. This is an arrowhead. And the best kind of stone to make arrowheads is flint, because flint, you can break it into sharp, sharp pieces. And flint, if you hit it with a piece of steel, you can make fire. So, flint stone means the stone you use to make fire. And the Flintstones were from a long time ago when they first made fire. So that's why they call it the Flintstones. Well, that was a fun one to explain. I never thought I would explain where the Flintstones cartoon comes from. The word groggy. The word groggy is a good one. Groggy is a word that means tired, right? So sometimes when you wake up in the morning, if you didn't sleep well and, you're like this and you're like, oh, I'm so groggy. Like you're not really awake, right? That's what the word groggy means now. But the original meaning of the word groggy, it meant a little bit drunk. A little bit drunk. Okay? And the reason why is because the British, they had British sailors in the British Navy. And the sailors in the British Navy, sometimes they got too drunk. They couldn't do their job well because they got too drunk. They would drink rum. Rum was very, very popular then, and so they drank rum, and they would get too drunk. So then there was this one captain. He was not a captain, he was an admiral. An admiral's above a captain, okay? And he was an admiral in the British Navy, and his name was Edward Vernon. But he had a nickname, and the nickname that they gave him was Old Grog. They called him Old Grog. That was his nickname. Oh, Old Grog is coming. That means the admiral is coming, right? And why did they call him Old Grog? Because on his boat, if you were on his boat, you were not allowed to drink rum. You were only allowed to drink grog. Grog was a special drink they made that was rum with water. They just put water in it so that the sailors wouldn't get too drunk. So, when you say, I feel groggy, the original meaning is like I feel a little bit drunk. Let's see. Did I miss anything else? Wow, Celine, you're too nice. You are way too nice, Celine. You're going to make me blush. What does grok mean? Grok doesn't mean anything, I don't think. Well, no, that's not true. It does have an original meaning. It means to understand empathetically. So here's what's so funny. What is grok, everybody? What's grok today? The word grok. Yeah, it's Elon Musk's AI. And do you remember that Elon Musk said something about empathy? Do you remember what he said about empathy? It was very famous. What did he say about empathy? Do you remember? Anyone? He said that the world has too much empathy, and maybe empathy is not such a good thing. Let me make sure I get the quote right. He said, the fundamental weakness of Western civilization is empathy. If you want to know if he's smart or stupid, that statement should tell you everything. The fundamental weakness of Western civilization is empathy. Now, why am I saying this? Why am I telling you this? Here's what's so funny. The word grok, G-R-O-K, the original meaning of the word grok means to understand others empathetically. So, the man who's against empathy named his AI after empathy. You know, Elon Musk, every day I try to think about it, and I'm not sure if he's the dumbest smart guy ever or the smartest dumb guy ever. He's one of those two things. He's either the smartest dumb guy or the dumbest smart guy. Okay. Anyway. Susu. Wow, you're nice too, Susu. You're too funny. Too kind. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Let's see. It's been 3 hours. Wow. Crazy. 3 hours. Time flies. All right, so somebody said they wanted me to play a little music, so I'm going to play one song. I'll play one song, okay? I know most of you don't care about my music, okay? I want to talk about that for just 1 minute, please, if you'll just indulge me. I know that you come here to learn English. I understand that you come here to study English. I understand that. But I want you to please remember that this camera and this computer and this microphone, these are mine. That's my camera. It's my computer. It's my microphone. So sometimes when I'm here, sometimes I don't teach. Sometimes I play music because I'm a musician. It's like my religion. Okay, music is like my religion. All right? And sometimes I play music when I'm here. Why am I telling you that? I'm telling you that because if you come to my room, please don't be selfish. Please don't be selfish if you come to my room. If you come to my room, if you don't like what I'm doing, you can just turn it off. You don't have to watch. Okay? But sometimes I come here and I play music. I go back there and I play drums, and people, they chat and they say, no, 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 we don't want this. We only want you to teach. And to that, I will say, please look at me right now. Please look at me. When I'm here, whatever I do, this is my time. And it's not always about you. It's not always about you. All right? And if I am here to support you in your learning, I'm here to support you in your learning. It's not a big thing to ask you to support me in what I enjoy. All right? Okay? So, you don't have to like music, you don't have to like my music, and you don't have to like my drumming. But please, 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 please don't disrespect me by telling me, hey, don't play drums because we don't like that. It's not about you. All right? You can't hear me well? Well, that's crazy. Everybody else can hear me just fine. So the problem is you, not me. Everyone can hear me, right? Can you hear me clearly? Is it loud enough? Super loud. So there you go. So, if you can't hear, then maybe it's a problem on your side. Okay? All right. I'm going to play a song. So let me see if I can change cameras and go back there and turn on my equipment, and I'm going to play a song, okay? So just wait 1 minute. I'm going to end my YouTube stream because I don't want to play music on YouTube because they don't like